Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Introducing the undefeated Mario Barrios.
Number one, pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Manny Pacquiao.
Receive your instructions in your dressing room. Okay, look, if it goes right here, it's okay. Anything below that's low. Right here is okay, anything below that's low. I want a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourself at all times. Let's go.
All right, so we're set to go, Dave. I don't know about you, but there's no place in the world I'd rather be in.
Just 14 days before they're set to throw fists for the WBC Welterweight crown, Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios came face to face, and the moment wasn't explosive. It was eerie, not awkward, not staged, but deeply symbolic. There wasn't trash talk or ego. There was reverence, and maybe a warning. Mario Barrios, the 30-year-old defending champion from San Antonio, didn't try to intimidate the legend in front of him. Instead, he paid homage. "He was my idol growing up," Barrios confessed. "I studied everything he did. I watched him. I admired him." Barrios wasn't just looking at a future opponent. He was standing in front of the man who helped define his own boxing dreams. But beneath that respect was a silent hunger. This wasn't just a respectful nod to greatness. It was a younger fighter ready to take the crown, permanently. For fans watching closely, the body language said it all. Pacquiao stood with decades of legacy behind him, and Barrios stood with decades ahead. It felt less like a press event and more like a passing of the torch, or perhaps a fight to rip it away from a legend who refuses to let go. As the cameras flashed, you could feel the weight of history colliding with the pulse of youth. One fighter trying to reclaim glory, the other trying to build his own. And behind that clash of generations, a question lingered. Can a 46-year-old warrior still write history? Or is this the moment his story ends? If anyone thought Manny Pacquiao was stepping into this fight for a quick payday or a nostalgia tour, they haven't been watching the grind happening behind closed gym doors. The Filipino icon, an 8-division world champion, has reunited with the legendary Freddie Roach, the trainer who helped shape his ferocious rise across multiple weight classes. The last time they worked together in full was 2018. Now, the old chemistry is back, but the stakes are even higher. Pacquiao isn't easing into this. He's punishing his body in training, the same way he did in his prime. "I'm punishing myself, like before," he said. "I still feel the passion. I'm not underestimating Barrios." Make no mistake, this isn't about another belt. It's about who Manny Pacquiao is when he isn't holding one. Just months ago, he lost a bid to return to the Philippine Senate, a bruising political battle that left his public image in limbo. For a man who rose from poverty to power, who turned rice bags into fuel, and sleeping on gym floors into world titles, identity and purpose were always tied to the ring. This fight, more than a title shot, feels like a reckoning, a chance to prove to himself, his critics, and his country that he's still the Pacquiao who built empires with his fists. The Hall of Fame induction may be around the corner, but Pacquiao is not ready for flowers and flashbacks. He's still writing, still fighting, still chasing one more chapter. Not everyone is celebrating Pacquiao's return. Some of boxing's most respected voices are calling it reckless, even irresponsible. Frank Warren, one of the sport's most vocal promoters, didn't hold back. "It doesn't sit well with me. Pacquiao is past his sell-by date." And that sentiment is gaining traction, because while names like George Foreman and Bernard Hopkins are thrown around as late career success stories, neither returned after a 4-year break like this. Neither looked as sluggish as Pacquiao did against Japanese kickboxer Rukia Anpo in 2024, a bout where fans openly pleaded with him to stop. And here's the haunting truth: every great fighter believes they have one more fight left. Until they don't. At 46, Pacquiao isn't just fighting Mario Barrios, he's fighting his own reflexes, his own body, and the ghost of who he once was. This isn't just another comeback. It could be the moment where a legacy shifts from glory to regret. So the question remains, is this a legendary final act or a brutal encore no one asked for? If you ask Mario Barrios what this fight means to him, you won't get the same well-rehearsed lines you hear from most fighters. He's not just defending a belt, he's defending his legitimacy. Barrios, now 30, became WBC Welterweight Champion in 2023 after a gritty win over Yordenis Ugas, the same man who handed Pacquiao his last professional loss. Since then, he's remained active, dangerous, and focused, racking up 5 fights in the time Pacquiao was away from the sport. Yes, his last fight, a split draw against Abel Ramos, raised eyebrows. But don't be fooled. Barrios has grown tougher through the fire. He's fought everyone from Keith Thurman to Gervonta Davis, and while he's taken losses, he's gained something more dangerous: experience at the highest level. Veteran trainer Robert Garcia put it bluntly, "I gotta go with Barrios. He's young. He's still in his prime. Manny's 46. That's too much." And yet, Barrios isn't treating this like a guaranteed win. He knows the power of fighting a legend. Pacquiao is the kind of opponent who makes you immortal if you beat him, or forgotten if you don't. But here's what makes Barrios truly dangerous. He's not trying to become the next Manny Pacquiao. He's trying to be the first Mario Barrios. In every jab, in every round, he's not just defending his title. He's fighting to escape the shadow of the legend across from him. For most fighters, beating a world champion at 46 would be the swan song, the final act of a legendary career. But Manny Pacquiao? He's already thinking about what comes next. Promoter Sean Gibbons has pulled back the curtain, revealing that Pacquiao's long-standing obsession isn't just with one last title. It's with a fight that many thought would never happen: Gervonta "Tank" Davis. When he beats Mario Barrios, line them up, Gibbons said. His dream fight is Gervonta Davis. He loves that fight. He's wanted it for years. Yes, you read that right. Pacquiao doesn't just want to retire as a champion. He wants to face one of the most explosive fighters of this generation. The same Tank Davis who once dismissed fighting Pacquiao, citing weight differences. The same Tank who is now entangled in talks with Jake Paul for a potentially massive exhibition later this year. But if Pacquiao beats Barrios, that dynamic shifts instantly. Suddenly, Tank versus Pacquiao isn't fantasy. It's a mega fight. One part legacy, one part risk, and 100% guaranteed box office. Pacquiao, driven by faith, pride, and unfinished dreams, isn't content with a single triumphant return. He's seeking a defining final chapter, not just for himself, but for boxing history. And if he dethrones Barrios, that dream fight becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Because nothing sells like a legend refusing to fade quietly. Few in the sport can speak on both fighters with as much authenticity as Amir Khan. The British former world champion has laced gloves with both Pacquiao and Barrios, giving him a rare and honest vantage point. Back in 2008, Khan trained alongside Pacquiao at the Wildcard Gym, trading over 300 sparring rounds with the Filipino icon. He calls those sessions competitive, electric, and an honor. The two shared more than just a ring. They shared a warrior's rhythm, molded by the same coach, Freddie Roach. But Khan didn't stop there. He later trained with Mario Barrios, witnessing the young Texan's raw power and relentless work ethic firsthand. So when Khan says this fight is dangerous, he's not speculating. He knows. "I wouldn't advise Manny to come back," Khan said candidly. "Not against someone like Barrios. He's young. He's active. That makes it dangerous." Khan even suggested that if Pacquiao wanted a comeback, he should have chosen a fellow retired fighter. A safer, more even matchup. Someone like Khan himself, perhaps. And yet, despite all his caution, Khan can't help but admit the truth. It'll be a fantastic fight. Barrios has everything to gain, and Manny has everything to prove. This isn't just a sporting event. It's a clash of timelines. The active versus the aging. The legend versus the ladder climber. And Khan knows as well as anyone that sometimes in boxing, that one last step forward leads off a cliff. For all the emotion and fanfare, for all the debates and dream matchups, one fact towers over this fight like a statue. If Manny Pacquiao wins, he becomes the oldest welterweight world champion in boxing history. Let that sink in. He already set that record in 2019 when, at 40, he beat Keith Thurman. Now at 46, with more mileage and fewer advantages, he's attempting to break his own milestone. And it comes in the same year he's being inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. A rare moment when a fighter is honored while still preparing for war. This moment is soaked in symbolism, but not everyone is applauding. Boxing insiders, fans, and fighters are split right down the middle. To some, it's a last blaze of glory. To others, it's a man clinging to what once was, risking everything for something that may no longer be there. Pacquiao, however, is unmoved by the criticism. His eyes remain locked on one thing: the fight. "I'll do my best," he said. "I won't let the fans down." But best may no longer be enough. The gap between memory and muscle grows with every year, and boxing is a sport that offers no grace period for age. This isn't just about belts anymore, it's about identity, dignity, and whether greatness should ever be measured by time. As July 19th approaches, the question isn't just who will win, it's what this fight means. Mario Barrios is fighting for glory, for recognition, for the right to say, "I beat a legend." But Manny Pacquiao? He's fighting time, doubt, his own legacy, and the weight of millions who believe and fear this might be one punch too far. If he wins, it's a cinematic comeback that rewrites the rules of aging in sports. If he loses, it's a reminder that even legends can fall if they stay too long. Barrios has the youth. Pacquiao has the history, the announcers will say, but when that final bell rings, only one man will leave with the truth, whether comebacks still belong in boxing's future, or if some stories are better left untold. Who are you backing? The fresh champion with everything to gain, or the fearless icon chasing one final chapter? Drop your predictions in the comments. Is Pacquiao chasing greatness, or gambling it all? Comment your thoughts. Like if you're excited for the fight, subscribe for more real boxing stories, breaking updates, and the drama behind the gloves. Until next time, peace out.